So wait, so you built the site. Everybody goes through the site, and they're driven from ads and from SEO. How much do you spend on ads a month?
It's sickening, but we're at about like 60 grand a month right now.
Holy shit!
Wait,
and so then you can turn, but you can measure that though, right? Because do you attribute those ads to revenue?
Oh yeah.
So is it like $1 spent is $3 in revenue, or how do you? What's the ratio?
Across the platforms it's different, but we average about, for every dollar spend, it's about $4 return.
Wow!
So there's no brainer. Why not spend more?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
60
So we
grand
don't spend
ads.
more because we got to make sure, for one, we have the hats to sell, because we only sell what we can get tomorrow or already have on hand. You got to have the people and the equipment to make sure you can produce it. So that's been a very turtle. So we've grown very, very fast, but we've only been growing at the rate that we can afford to, people wise, equipment wise, and space and inventory wise. So we're kind of bottlenecked, and like if I had 100,000 square foot warehouse with 500 embroidery heads and the people and the inventory, we could no doubt just crank the ad spend up and expect the returns. And there's some fine tuning that goes into just cranking it up. Like you have to do it slowly to get there, because you want to make sure that your returns stay consistent. Because you don't want to crank it up and then get $2 per every dollar that you spend, because that just completely obliterates your margins.
Like ads, or is it national or
national? Yep.
Wow. So for shop owners that post in the Facebook groups that say, I just want something where people go to my site and they just order from there.
Yep.
What advice do you have for them so we can share this clip every single time?
Gosh, there's so many moving parts in our website. That's like, yeah, we have a front facing website that people go to place an order, but there's so much more behind the scenes that make that, like, that's just getting the order in, right? So that's just the person's information with what they ordered in front of you. It's all the processes after that are probably the most important part. You know, the setting up of the artwork, and then the revisions process and the approval process. And then how do you get that order from on your computer to something physical in the person's hand to take and know what to get and put in the box and put on the shelf for production. And then from the box to the machine. And so there's so many parts that go through that. But for the person that wants to just get the sale on the internet, like, that's the first step, I guess. But
so be
if you
prepared.
Go ahead. If you don't have those background processes in place and you start getting these sales on the internet, you're going to just completely obliterate, just a fail. Like, you're going to 100% just fall on your face, get way too much work, not be able to do it, and you're going to be just swimming in paper. And
that's my problem right now.
Yeah. So
what do you feel like you enjoy? Like, you're a previous programmer, obviously likes to solve problems, though. Yep. You're probably not programming too much. I mean, I'm assuming to fix stuff. Like, this reminds me of me working on Printavo, but I'm assuming you're more business owner and process and people and hiring and all this other stuff now?
Yeah, so I still code every day. So we're still putting stuff in. Like, last week, we just rolled out a way to send people like physical stitch outs for approval. So on big orders more than 36 hats, we will always send the person an actual physical stitch out of the product to approve. Before, like, our workers were taking a phone, taking a picture, and then attaching it to an email and then sending it to them, which is that's time consuming. You do that 20 times a day. That's more than an hour out of your day sending pictures. Where now that you just walk up, put the hat down on a table, there's a DSL camera hooked up to the computer, takes the picture and automatically emails the person for them to approve it.
So you're sticker mule. You're sticker mule for embroidery.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, this is that speed, like, very online driven component. Where, yes. I mean, how fast is this whole process done?
So we're at a point to where we sometimes are waiting for the person to even just approve their artwork. Like, the order is getting pulled into production and the person hadn't even actually approved it yet. So wow. It's super fast.